Alrighty, righty. Should be all good. Yes. It looks like my little silly hair up there does not go out of frame, which is what we want. I'm gonna turn this down for myself a bit, methinks. Let me see it. Yeah, Maya Helge. I don't know, I forgot exactly what it was called. I know it's called idiot hair in English, basically. Hi, Sharky. I'm gonna see if Bed hair gives me a Helge arrow. That's silly. Hi, Shiny. Always good to see you. I've put my face in front of my audio. Can put it over there to the side instead. Okay. Everything seems to be working. Now, if I were to demonstrate a little bit of the behind the scenes, because I haven't made a like bash RC thing yet at all, the current way my tablet works, because my drawing tablet like by default goes across both screens, and I only need it on the one. So what I need to do is if I just bring this one, if I press Windows 5, right? No, it's Windows Shift 5, right? So if I do this, you'll see basically these two things here. Those are the two things I run to make it so that my drawing tablet only goes on this monitor. And that's pretty neat to me. That's so simple to do. X input basically manages all sorts of inputs. So it's managing like my keyboard, my mouse, all that. 16 is like the cursor for the pen. And then 20 is like the buttons on the pen. So that's that. And then we can press that. And I don't even have to select any. That's pretty pog-championating. Yes. Yes, indeed. So, might as well get right into it. No reason not to. I always worry that can I rotate this up a little? Oh boy. I don't know why the hands are curled like that when they're off frame. But if I tilt it up a little bit, then I'm looking forward more when I'm looking down, which I think is good. I wish I could have done something about the clipping there, but I didn't. I don't know how. Anyways, hope y'all are here to just, you know, chill out a bit. We've got a lot of work to do. Yeah, a lot of work. We do be chilling. So let's see. I'm a little worried about all the different layers we have, I'm gonna be honest. So at the moment, I'm gonna delete some of the extra layers that we aren't using right now. Just like consolidate the amount of layers we have currently. We've got quite a few. That one we need. Okay. We do be chilling. It's always great to be chilling. I love chilling. I really did it like that, huh? Alright, hang on. Oh, and then like that. Well, okay. And that's a bit of a mess, eh? Let's see. So, at present, the main counterpart is nice. Oh, I see, that's on the extra plans layer. Do I want that? So here's the dilemma, and you guys might be able to help with this. I don't really want there to be an opening there, right? I don't plan, because if we see that chair, that kind of really restricts the flow of traffic right there. Where's my extra plans layer? So I don't really want there to be an opening there. But if there's no opening there, then I have to find out how to extend the counter properly. Because if I look at that line, that's really close to this chair. If I were to bring it out to there, right? So it's a bit of a dilemma, methinks. Open to suggestions. One of those things. Also, hand tracking, working, elbow. Elbow works mostly. It's just I'm too close to the camera, I think. That makes it a little bit weird. We can put the big door back. Doesn't need to be hidden right now. But yeah, it's about whether or not, because I wrote down fridge there, right? And if there's a fridge there, then this counter can't be going all the way to the corner, because the fridge is in the corner, right? So let's get our eraser tool. Let's for now remove this, because this is just like a bad layout for the counter in any case. Okay, now I'm confused as to... Oh, I see, prep counter. We need to make sure people know that that's plans rather than the actual thing. Right? It's convenient for me that I put on a different layer though. It's very nice. So we're gonna leave that chair up there for now while we do work here. Just so we remember that how the flow of traffic would go. Because if we look, we just can't really get people by there, you know? So it doesn't make as much sense for it to be an opening. So here, let me put this in extra plans. What makes the most sense to me is to simply just like close it off. Not necessarily at a corner quite like this, but sort of this idea, you know? I love how you have an extra tuft of hair on top of your head. Yeah, that's what we were talking about earlier, the ahoge. It translates to idiot hair basically, because it's just this thing anime characters will do a lot of times to show that they're silly and goofy. That's the simple explanation. Now, what is this Discord notification? We will do that. I think this is what we want to do though. Right? So we'll just undo that. Oh, that must be why I didn't do it before. Hang on, where's our front counter? Yeah. So we're going to need to erase like this. This isn't even like nearly the final version of the counter anyway, so it doesn't matter if the line art is messy. What we will do though is add another layer here so we can get the guidelines nice and neatums. We'll lower the opacity so we don't get confused with other lines. What bothers me a tiny bit is how it's just like completely exactly this line. But the thing is, that line was never going to be visible anyway, right? So it doesn't really matter. It just bothers me a little bit knowing that it's in the same place as another line. Whoops. So we know that the back of it is there. Oh, that must be the other reason I didn't do it this way before, is because... Look at that, huh? Then let's kind of clean that up a little so we can see a bit better how it'd look. I think we're definitely going to want to round it off like before. Because very clearly it just looks a bit too big if we don't round it off. Plus that side's rounded. So it just makes more sense for it to be rounded. Which is a little bit tricky to do. But because I forgot how I did it last week. So we gotta go bank, bonk, bank, bonk. So if I go from like there-ish and there-ish, what I'm trying to do, wait, hang on. Yeah, that's what I thought. Want that 5. You basically just make the 2 lines straight like that. And that sort of semi-accurately curves it, you know? And we'll see how we feel about it in a second. Hang on. We'll set that back to 40 so we don't forget. Because later I'd be like, oh, why is this so small? And then I'd be like, wow, I really just didn't fix that for myself, eh? I can kind of tell already, though, that that's about how I'd want it. So let's try putting it up all nice and properly. Line tool and all. It does get really confusing that that's the same line, though. Let me just go over this whole counter line. And of course in the back, like that. Here, it'd be prep counter. Oh, it got unnamed because I undid. That's all right. Bing a bonk, bing bonk, bing body, 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 body. Methinks this is good. If we hide that. What do you think? That's a good curve? That's a bad curve? Kinda looks off. Why does it look off? Well, over here, clearly the points are there and there, right? Okay, I think I know what's wrong. Let's see about... going like that. And we'll hide it so we can see what we're up to. Yeah. I think our issue is that over here That's a longer distance than there. From there to there is longer than from there to there, where the corner would normally be. So that means we probably want, let's see. Well, actually, if we're just following the this, that's actually just about accurate for where I'd want those based on that side. So that means that just a hair, yeah, that was just me scratching my face a little bit. So then, I mean, I guess we can just kind of experiment a little bit with how we want it to go. Because we're pretty sure we want it there, but what if we tried it like there and, oh whoops. If we tried it like there instead, you know? Got really wild with it. Probably not like that. Because I think it's not like the worst idea ever to say point there and point there. And then say match them up. And then we do the same thing here, point there, point there. And just say match the curve. Yeah, that's correct. Me thinks. Buddy, 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 Bobby, Bobby, Bobby. So then we'll go and we will phone in the right answer. Okay, well it's kind of supposed to be straight at that particular port. You know? But we start out going like this anyways. Yeah, just let it be weird for now. Don't matter much. It'll be perfect one day. But that's several streams away, methinks. Everybody, body. Portu music did really well. I should see if... Yeah. Just in case I didn't get in the video before when I posted the link. Anyhow, if we hide that, yeah, that's how we want the counter to be. And this is just about correct. I'm still a little bit annoyed, is one thing. Hey, arm, calm down. See this? This music is gonna get stuck in my head. Oh, I understand that. Hand, for some reason, sometimes the tracking isn't perfect. You know, sometimes the hand will just, whoa, it just ghosts, you know? I'm just the tiniest bit annoyed that this counter is above the horizon line, because I'd love to be able to see the top of the counter. I like it, but it will be stuck. Yeah, understandable. Alright, so we fixed the counter, which does give us a little more real estate there. Maybe we put... That's already a busy area though. I don't know if we put anything there. Maybe we just have Meowth's thing carry over here a bit more. I feel like I want to work on this back here a little. You know, I feel like back here can be our focus for today. Oh, and it's on its own layer too. Forgot that because it's the prep counter plan. Yes. So let's see. we're gonna want sink to go something like this, because unfortunately we won't be able to see into the sink at all. So we've just got to make it very obvious that it's a sink from this side, you know? This is like barely the first rough draft that I'm doing right now. What I'm doing is just like a mock-up, you know? This was telling me that the sink is gonna be here, but now I'm just putting in vague sink-ish shapes. This is kind of to show that it's one of those, like, I don't want to say serrated because that's not the right word, but it's sort of one of those sorts of things. I hope I'm making sense with that. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things where it has the waves on it so that it's grippier. So the sink would be like that. Then this line is probably staying. Except up until about there, perhaps. Because the refrigerator... Well, hang on. There's no point in dropping it all the way down because it's... At least for now, I feel like. We can always drop it back in later. But for now, there's no point in really drawing behind the counter because no one is ever going to see behind the counter. Then one refrigerator. So technically that line goes to this. So if I just add in one more layer, we can see the angle it should take. Because then after that, it's just a vertical down to there, except with the added detail of having a division line right about, I mean, honestly, it'd be slightly below the main counter, methinks. Right? Because if it's the, pretending it's a freezer, right, so it'd be like main fridge, then freezer. Assuming it's like that, then the freezer obviously would be on bottom. Door handles are, well, hang on, I'm imagining it as slightly bigger than it actually would be then. Hang on. Because really, we've only got that much space. Well, hang on, technically we've got however far back that counter goes. So really, we're not giving the fridge enough space there. Yeah. So we will shrimply move the sink, right? We're gonna scoot the sink over, methinks, with this tool. And then because they're on different layers, I can just go like this, methinks. If I scoot that to there-ish. Maybe we have James actually washing dishes in the sink? Dunno. The one thing I don't like about this model right now is that it doesn't stick out its tongue. Because I stick out my tongue sometimes, and I just go, meh. But the model doesn't show that. So you guys are missing out. That's what I think. 'Twas what me thinks. Let's see. So I think that's enough space for a refrigerator. Which, when you think about it, is kind of a funny thing to say when you're just on your computer. I mean, there's only a few reasons you'd be saying something like that, really. Well, we don't need to put that there. We can... So it's a small gap between there, because obviously they would have built the counter before they got the refrigerator. So they didn't know exactly what size the refrigerator was going to be. They probably measured the refrigerator first before buying it, but they weren't sure it'd be an exact fit. But even then, obviously it's leave a gap. I also stick my tongue out sometimes. Yeah, it's just something to do. Obviously no one knows that I'm doing it unless I tell them. But I do it. It's a thing I do. See, now this makes much more sense for the size of refrigerator we have. Because if we look at where the corner is, right? So obviously this line goes back to there. So this line would extend to there, which means that's the corner of the room, which means, well, essentially it just means that our refrigerator has this sort of front profile, and given the size, the relative size of our person, if they walked back to there, they'd be roughly that tall, I think. That tall? The ground's there, they're here. So it'd be back like, so legs to there, then to there. Really? Is that the scale we're working with? I'm terrible at scale, I'm gonna be honest. But basically, what we want... Oh, and that messes with it too. Because it would shrink a lot going back that way. Which means I'm... Yeah. Tricky. Because there's only so much you can say, oh yeah, that's just how it is, you know? Because that's sort of how perspective works, you know? If you pull someone back towards the vanishing point, then they'd get smaller. So then, if they're right in front of this thing, I mean, technically speaking, they'd be like that tall, doubled over, and then plus their torso length. So, actually, no, this is correct. I'm not wrong, and I'm not disappointed and sad and lonely. None of those things. I'm actually just correct and awesome. So we'd still want the divider to be about there. Nobody can see where that is because of all these other guides we've got going on. Outline 1. Yeah, you take a hike. Just be visible. Just barely be visible. Then we want you bring us right about there, eh? So then if we go back to counter, P is short for prep because this would be the prep area counter. Then we need to find the middle ground between these 2 points. Hang on. I saw this thing. Well, no, we don't even need to guess. You know why? We have no need to guess or look up any special techniques or anything for finding the midpoint between these 2 lines. Because we're super duper awesome. And we can literally draw a cross between the 4 points. And even if you're drawing in perspective, that will show you where the middle is. And I love that so much. So we know for a fact that that's where the middle of our refrigerator is. Yes, indeed. I just love that that's a thing. Then back on this layer, I actually kind of want to erase a little bit, just so it's a little easier to look at. Yeah. Okay. Then, of course, ringing in my ears all of a sudden. That's okay. They'd have these big old handles. You know, I'm just trying to give the vague impression of handles. People will see these, know it's a refrigerator, know what these are supposed to be. As soon as I get this curve right. Kinda like that. If I just put it a little farther back, it'll be... Okay, then have it your way. Like show. Hang on. My shortcut doesn't work. Wonder why that is. Let me check something really quick. So if we go over to nano tilde slash dot config slash i3 slash config. If we look here, maybe there's another shortcut that's using maybe there's another shortcut that's using Control E, because that's the only thing I can think of that's preventing my Control E here from working. I didn't do all this myself. Most of this is just their thing. Basically from here onward I did, but I was following a tutorial, so I didn't know. But it sure doesn't look like it should have broken it. Right? Because that's kind of strange, me think. Because the only space I even... Well, I can actually just search for it. Control W. Yeah, that's the first one. So... we will simply send you back to there. Huh. Very strange. But, anyway. There's my button. Because I can... That's so strange. Huh. Oh well. That's so strange. Oh, hang on. I'm used to being able to, you know, Control E. That's so weird. Well, I should probably set it to a different keybind so I can keep doing things. Right? Where's my hotkeys? Where's my hotkeys? Oh, hand, we're not doing that. I'm not doing that. You're lying to me. Tracker is lying. It's gaslighting. Merge with layer below. Can we do something really easy like Control E? So it definitely knows when I'm pressing Control E, which is kind of strange, me think. Because if it knows that I'm pressing that, then it should be very easy. I also disappear when I go on Firefox. Don't worry about that. Oh wait, hang on. I remember what I did about it before. I put it over here. Hang on. Sorry, y'all aren't supposed to see that. We're going here. Let's see. Infinity tunnel? Yeah, it happens. So let's see what. If I press Control E, it doesn't do anything. But other shortcuts like Control Z work. That's so strange. If I set it to like Control R instead, Control W maybe? Control Q. Grr. Well, hang on. Yeah, okay, for some reason it's just Control E that doesn't work. Don't know why, but now we just have Control Q for that instead. Yes, indeedy. So over here, I sort of envisioned that the oven came up above the counter, but hang on, let's first. Yeah, perfect. Nobody can argue that this is a refrigerator, am I right? Or am I right? That's clearly a refrigerator, plus freezer. You'll love to see it. So they've got their counter space. That's not how you spell counter. They've got their counter space there. So, whoops. Keep that line, please, and thank you. Peas and carrots. Carrots and peas. This is actually another situation. Oh, we'll draw that line in too. That goes to vanishing point, because that's a thing. This is... We actually need to put that line back immediately because I got rid of it. So yeah, that's a little alleyway basically between the counter and the fridge. Because obviously who puts their thing like right up against the fridge? That would be annoying, and yeah, no, it would never happen. Alloweth, where'd my phone go? I've lost my phone? How'd this happen? I literally brought it up here with me. Ah, there it is. Directly in front of me. A dastardly hiding spot. I just need to be aware of what's happening. On my discords and things. So, over here, we're gonna do the same thing. So I drew it like this to show that there's stuff here, but I didn't actually mean that the oven goes above there like that. The oven itself still follows that exact line, and there's technically... No, never mind. I lied. Oh, that's an eraser. Didn't mean to. No, leave that there, please. Thank you. So we'll put that line there. And that line there. Because the oven is also... No, I lied again. If I remember McDonald's properly, and I do, the oven is different from the refrigerator. Because it's actually like built in to the counter. Technically the oven was the counter a little bit, not exactly. But basically there was space just here for the broom to go in, but there wasn't space there for the broom to go in. That's what I'm going off of. But anyways, we're gonna have our stove burners. They're not gonna look exactly like this. I'm gonna find a good stove burner reference sometime. But that's kind of... Hang on, there's actually more in back. Whoops, didn't mean to change color, huh? Yeah, there's definitely more in back. Something like that, methinks. Okay, well, not exactly like that. Hey, Petra. Chegg? What's Chegg mean? Is that a new curse word that I don't know about? Sure sounds like it. It'd be something like that. It's an oven. We're not going into too much detail right now. Let's just see. It's convenient that we've got this, well, hang on, we want to get out our line tool. It's convenient that we've got this here with which we can do our thing. I don't know what to say about that, Sharky. You're cheating is what you're doing. You're cheating. That's cheating, because how do I react to that? What do I say? Do I say you're wrong? I don't know if you're wrong. I'm not paying attention to my mannerisms. You're cheating. That's what you're doing. There we go. That's the perfect curve. Yeah, it's basically the same as that one there, and I probably could have just copied it. But now, that's an oven. That's an oven. I'm telling you guys, you don't even have to wonder, that is an oven. Yes, indeed. The difficult thing... sure. Well, I don't know what to tell you, Sharky. You're a cheater. You're a cheater. Hang on, I'm going to write it in cursive so everyone knows it's the truth, because everything true is written in cursive. Watch. See, now I've written it down. Chat, this is the truth. The check mark means it's verified by a professional. So, unfortunately, you've already lost the argument. I wrote it down in cursive. Yes. The hand just clips into my head? That's interesting. I didn't know it would do that. Because if I touch my hand to my face like this, it's not... I am so silly. You're the silly one, actually. Believe it or not. So... if we're gonna need to use this layer quite some bit. And on this tool. So it's obvious to me, don't know about you guys, but it's obvious to me that they'd need drawers. Right? And then this kind of gets, how many drawers? Wow, that's a, well, not here though. Okay. So it's just the one drawer. No, it's actually 0 drawers. This side only gets cupboards. Right? And it goes like that. And then a gap. And then one bigger cupboard for under the sink. Oh, hang on. So if I put the sink there, that means the borders of the sink are probably there and there. Which means we'd want the cupboard to be about there, yeah? You know, because this would be the cupboard for getting under the sink and at the pipes and stuff. But then there's this much empty space there. And I don't want to move the fridge. Really easy solution, move the sink. This is the wrong layer. Yes. Shrimply move the sink. Grab it, slide to the left. Boink. So now we can take it as truth that the cupboard would go from there to there. Maybe even there. Because you have to keep in mind that the perspective of this is more like that, right? So the sink is in here, and so there's actually more room on this side than there is on this side for the sink, because that's the way those lines would curve. Not curve, but go. So basically we put one cupboard here. I'm almost guaranteeing it's a cupboard. It's a board with cups on it. I'm certain that that's what that means. But interestingly, it's pronounced like cupboard with the B sound, which is a very interesting bit of linguistics. I mean, it might just be the California accent that I've got, where you have cupboard and button and mountain. But I don't know anyone who calls it a cupboard, even though it's spelled cupboard, and you put cups on a board in there. Speaking of, wrong layer. Why do we even have that layer? Oh, that reminds me. Over here, there's a gap, and then that cupboard and this cupboard don't have a gap between them. We can use our good old friends, the X, to find exactly where. So these ones don't have a gap between them because they're actually part of a double-sided cabinet. Technically, I think that'd be lower down. But we're just putting it there for now. Because it's just the mock-up, you know? In fact, technically I think it'd even be that low because of where the floor is. But technically, if they're in a kitchen, they'd want to just make it as easy as possible to open all of it from wherever you are. So if you don't have to lean down as much, that's more optimal. Meow. Meow. Hang on, I need to make sure that that's what the redeem is for. I've completely forgot. People don't usually redeem that. I've completely forgotten. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I meow. Perfect. Meow. Meow. I can do a better meow. 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 This is kind of how it goes most times, actually. Or at least the other time somebody redeemed it went the same way. Also, it's good to have you here, Kenzie. The last time someone redeemed that, it went the exact same way. Where I meowed once, but then I kept on meowing because I wanted to do a good meow. And I feel like that might be cheating a little. I can meow better than you? Yeah, probably. I mean, it's not... You don't have to show me up like that. I'm just not putting a whole lot of effort into it right now because I've got a lot of talking to you. Have practice from meowing at my cat. Well, that's unfair. I don't have a cat. You've got premium practice partner. I've only got to draw this drawer. It's got to be a good size too. Me think that's a good size. Meow. You see, my cat comes to me if I meow. Well, obviously, yeah. And he yells a lot too. Uh-huh. Oh, that's no good. I don't want... Hang on. So... I don't want these two lines to be the same. His name is Francis. That's adorable. These two drawers seem about the same size, no? But hang on, then we'd be left with 3 and then blank space. So we actually don't want them that size, we want them bigger. But yeah, you almost certainly can meow better than me. I'm sorry, I need to do better. I will do better at meowing. I don't know if the goal is to be a realistic meow though. I don't think that's the point. I think the point is just for me to meow. 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 Get a cat? We have a dog. So, Shiny, you seem to have forgotten how many people live in my house. I cannot get a cat. We already have a dog. And there's just too many things in one house. And one of us has already moved out and it barely made any space. Cats are cool though. I know, and I'm going to own cats someday. Cats plural, that is. But not today, because I still live with my parents. Then, we were drawing drawers. Actually, we were just drawing the 2 drawers, because there's a secret hidden 3rd drawer. Yeah, we are. Me and Sharky are gonna own cats together. It's gonna be adorable. Imagine living with your parents. Couldn't be me. Totally me. If I could, I'd be gone. Like, it's not like I'm living here by choice, you know? If I had it my way, I'd already be somewhere else. I'm trying to apply at Panera Bread, but I'm gonna have to go in person to ask them about their availability because their website's like, oh, their interview schedule is full. So I'm like, darn, I have to go ask them in person how long I might have to wait. Not just because I need to know how long it'll take, but also because just talking to people in person is apparently very helpful. As much as I hate it. So what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to talk to someone in person, ask them about the jobs, see what they've got available, or rather when they'll be available to interview, and hopefully it goes well. But yeah, Panera Bread, I mean, it's a job, so hopefully I can work there. That's sort of where it's at, is any job will do. Now this cabinet here is tricky. Do I put the handle there, or be crazy and put it up there, right? These are the big questions we're asking today. Same, yeah. I should touch my face less. I hear it's bad for you. Rather bad for your skin specifically. I've got plenty of acne already. I think I put it over here. That makes sense to me. Technically, it's up to whoever installed the cabinet. But I'm kind of the one installing the cabinet right now. Right meow. Oh, oven vent? Interesting. You are shrimply adorable. Thank you, Sharky. Then, we've got to also decide. So, no, it's probably the right idea. I wrote oven vent here and drew a little Among Us because it's a vent and it's suspicious. And that's because if something's, say, burning here, it'd be very helpful to have a vent that goes just out so that the smoke doesn't fill the kitchen, just in case. So the question then becomes, how high up do we put it? I think that matching it vaguely with the top of that makes sense. Then we also want it centered, right? We want it centered on the oven. So we'll put it like that. Then we also need it to be, let's see. We do this. Then we can get that line up and also that line up. So now we have basically 1/3 in the middle here. So we can then go, there's that of course. So this is a 3D object, of course. We need to actually kind of sort of decide how far back that goes. What's refrigerator size? Like that? Well, we'll actually need to draw the whole. So that corner goes to the vanishing point, but I think the refrigerator ends like there, right? Oh wait, we already have a corner in, don't we? Goes like that, and that goes like that. So then that corner is like that, which is basically exactly where I said. So we're doing good. So that's our back wall there, right? Which means that our Among Us vent can't go past that wall, you know? So we'll draw that point back. And at some point, it hits that wall. Let's see. Among Us? Uh-huh. Just like Among Us. So my logic here, I should explain a little, is basically we have this corner, which is based on that vertical there and that back wall we drew in, which means we know where the bottom line of the back wall is and we know where the front line of it is. And then we know that the refrigerator goes from that front line to that back line. So then we know if we draw a line up from the top corner of the refrigerator, going backwards to the vanishing point, and the bottom going there. Basically, we have this point here, which is important because that's where the top of the fridge is, but at the back of the wall, right? So now if we draw this line out to the top of the fridge, we know that that's the distance between the top of the fridge and the front of the fridge and the back of the fridge, right? And we know that we don't want our gun of see how that's kind of like a G, but it's an O. It keeps throwing me off. I keep thinking gun vent instead of oven vent. My handwriting's bad, hey? So basically what this tells us is that a point on this line, as long as it does not go in front of that back line, as long as it is above this line and below this line, it's in the right spot. Perspective is cool like that. And we're also going to take that line back to the vanishing point. I can draw that a little thinner. So I know that I don't want it to be here, right? Because that'd make it a very wide and long thing. Speaking of, ooh, this is tricky because it implies that this surface area is the surface area of the oven. Like this length, the oven goes back that far. I don't know if I like that idea. Because we can't... Okay, well, what if... No. Okay, well, hang on. Oh, here's the problem. We don't know if... Well, hang on. Perhaps... well, not exactly. We can cheat a little bit. Not cheating, altering. See all that refrigerator we did? I'm gonna get rid of it. Alright? Because it makes things difficult. Alright? And instead... No, I'm not. You cheating? No, I would never. So here's my thinking. In order to... No, that wouldn't work. Yeah, I was thinking if I move the refrigerator forward a little bit, I can use the excuse, which is where it was cheating, I can use the excuse to move it forward that technically there needs to be space in front of the wall. But there doesn't, because it's not real. But my dilemma here is that... Hang on, let's go back to this layer. My dilemma here is that I can't make this vent too big. Right? Because if it's too big, then it just looks weird, you know? But we have so much space up here and so much less space there because of the perspective. Because over here it's basically a horizontal. But over here it's very much not a horizontal. So the distance is farther up there. I had to... Oof, excuse me. So the distance looks farther up there than it does down there, basically. Is our issue. Now, obviously, the vent doesn't have to be right at the front and right at the back. So we've just got to find some good limits, you know? Because I want it to be roughly square, and that's not square, you know? Not to mention, can I, yeah. I want that line gone. So we need to define, hang on. Let's put this line back and this line back. And this line back. Is that correct? Almost. Yeah, still not quite. Just right on the corner to right in that top. So, basically, I want it to be a different intersection, right? Because if we want it to be farther back, then we can't have it use the same as the front of the fridge, you know? It has to be a different line. But we probably will want to use the back of the fridge, right? So the back of the fridge line up there, that's the wall. So basically, any line we do for our, well, hang on, not quite. Well, yeah, any lines we do will have to intersect this line. These lines are going to be the front of it though, right? So this line and this line are where the front of the vent we want, right? But we don't want the front to be there. We want the front to be lower. So if I draw this line like that, and then like this, not quite. Our issue is that we need the front of it to be pushed back. Right? So, actually, if we draw that line, this line, if we draw a vertical there-ish, because that would bring it back in the perspective. But then, hang on. So let's see. Because ideally it'd just be like that, you know? That big. Well, actually, yeah, that big. But then stay that big on the side. If I want it to be, let's say I want it there. Well, actually, adjusting the angle of this line changes the size. Right? So we do it like this. Then we've got something very convincing. Maybe not convincing as a vent just yet. But look at that. Let's erase some things so it's easier to see. Oh wait, hang on, we need one more line. We want that to there. Now we've got something. You guys see the vision yet? Check it out. That would be our vent. Sort of. The thing after that, big stretch. Oh my. I'm suddenly tired. That stretch was good. I feel like refreshed after that stretch, I'm gonna be honest. That was good. What I want now though, I want to start out this size, but then get smaller as it goes up. And these lines are difficult, right? Because these lines, this breaks perspective. Not technically, but basically, right? Same as this. Because the two lines that you can do in perspective drawings are horizontal and vertical, right? And then any horizontal line is either going to this vanishing point or this vanishing point, and any vertical line is just vertical, unless you're doing 3 or more point perspective. And then everything changes with more than 3, really. But basically, a line like this, it's slanted, right? And it's meant to be slanted, but that means it can't go vertically, and it can't go to either vanishing point. So it's like, you have to be careful with lines like that. However, I think we got it. I think we're capables. So if we do it like that, and then like that, perhaps? It's tricky though. Let's see if we got it right. Because one piece of advice my old art teacher in 7th grade gave me, or not gave me specifically, but gave the entire class, was if it looks wrong, it is wrong. That's how it is when it comes to perspective. There's no, it looks off a little bit. It's either correct or it's incorrect. That's part of why I'm only good at perspective, you know? It's because, you know, there's a definite right answer when you're doing perspective. I think it's right, though. I think we're a successful Among Us imposter tonight, guys. Because we have vented successfully. Among Us imposter. Oh, but then, hang on. We sort of need to draw on those lines vaguely. Doesn't have to be perfect. Silly, yeah. That's the whole point, isn't it? To be silly. There we go. We have to kind of draw in the back of that a little. What do you think? Good vent, bad vent? I think it properly conveys the idea that there's a vent there. The only thing I will say, hang on, the inside is wrong. Good vent, thank you, thank you. Much appreciated. The inside's wrong though. I thought I could get away with just guessing, but I cannot. So if we have that, it's tricky. Oh, wait, no it isn't. We have the answers. They've been here the whole time. Right? Okay, so according to this, the corner in the back is like right there, which means that we can draw that like that, and that'd look correct. No, it'd be more like that. Yeah. I'm a little... That's not right. This isn't right, is what I'm seeing. Right? It should be a steeper angle, I think. Yeah. That's the problem with not perspective lines in a perspective drawing. That they always muck everything up. However, if you're careful, you can fix it. That's worse. Alright, I'm doing this sport. I'm doing this. Blarg. I'm being silly about it. That's the simple answer. So we know we want the bottom corner to be like there-ish. But we'll pull that back up. We'll see what's on Discord. For a moment I was worried I accidentally tapped the call button. That would have been a not good thing for me. I don't want to call anyone right now. Yes, indeed. So, I did this in a silly way. Silly. I don't want to be on any Discord. I could mute Discord, but I do need to know, like, the situation with that person. So what I want to do, before I did it silly, you know, I did silly thing. Wrong there. Basically, I said we'll make ourselves our bottom part and we'll make ourselves our top part. No, I said we'll make the bottom part and then we'll just guess for the top part, basically. But we really shouldn't do that, methinks. Alright? Because we have the technology to be better. So let's drag these down. I'm less sure about the back one, so I'm not drawing that down just yet. So what we can actually do, right here, we can draw our X. There's our center point of that square. And then we want, I mean, essentially we want that angle. Right, we are going to make the assumption that this line is correct. Which means then we need to have that mirrored. Assuming it'd be, well, no, it'd never be a vertical line. There is our problem. Our problem is that should be facing the other direction. That is the result of my deductive reasoning. This is why we don't make guesses. Because guesses are wrong. So that goes down to there. And even that angle isn't wrong. There. That is still wrong. But it's less wrong. Is it? Okay. Let's make the assumption that this is actually supposed to be a straight line. Because we're viewing it at like the perfect 45 degrees. Assuming that, and that'd be like that, and I can just erase the line there. That's kind of silly. And if we draw this down, draw this out, then at some point it has to go like that. And then that line's correct, and that line's correct. Is that correct overall, though? It's not, because I know for a fact that we are seeing this at an angle. And there's too much of the back of it. Because if this goes to there, that line's correct, and that line's correct. Which means, no, that line and that line are also correct. So why does it look so wrong? Because it's not like I can just say the front is bigger than the back. So does that look correct? No. But does it look correct at the end of the day? What if... I think the solution might be to make it bigger. Oh, you know what? You know what? I'm silly. So check this out. I think that the corners should roughly match up. Alright? So I think the corner should go kind of horizontally. From there to there. So that would mean I draw from there to the vanishing point, and I draw from vanishing point to there, alright, so that's the back part of it, right? That's the back of the vent. We're confident. Which means that this line oughta, gotta meet the data but he didn't he should have brought a, yeah, that's what we go with. Yeah. You're so close to 20k? Wowee. That's kind of impressive, methinks. There we go. Now I want this line gone. But that's a much better thing. Uh-huh, that's what we were missing this whole time. Buddy, 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 daddy, daddy, daddy. I don't see why we don't just, like, draw that up to it, honestly. Yeah, woo! Then that line and that line need to be the same angle. Cause you have to teach me perspective sometime. It's really not hard. Like I've already, in this stream, I've already explained everything there is to it. Unironically. You literally say, alright. Hang on, where did I put it? Oh, I see, you literally say, alright, there's a dot there, there's a dot there. I mean, ideally you'd make them really small dots so that they're not, like that. So they're not ambiguous at all. You just say there's a point out in the distance somewhere. Everything gets small as it gets closer to that point, you know? It's really that easy. Where were we? I'm not sure about this. I think that I like that angle, and I like that angle, but I get this naggity feeling that this angle is wrong. However, that's sort of a necessary thing, because that box is correct. We're certain of it. So what if this box isn't correct? What if... Well, actually, that's the correct profile. Like, that's the silhouette of the vent that we want, you know? We've got to... I imagine this has to be the same. Whoops. I imagine that this has to be the same angle as that. But I don't have a great justification. It could just as easily be a vertical. No, it couldn't. It definitely has to be that angle. Which means that that's true. And that's true. So why is it wrong? I feel like it should be steeper. You know? You can give it a shot sometime and you can help me if I need it? Absolutely, yeah. Not a problem at all. Hang on. I'd love to help out. Huh. This is correct. Like, objectively, I think it's correct. Because look at that. If we hide that one. Yeah. This is the way to draw this vent. So why don't I like it? Here, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use the bathroom and refill my water really quick. You guys can tell me what you think when I get back. So we're gonna send you to be right back, Void. I'm back. It's me. Did you miss me? Of course you did. I'm joking, I'm joking. Anyhow. We ought to... That's me brushing my hair back behind my neck. There's a collider of some kind around my model's neck that prevents it from touching the neck, you see? It's like I'm touching my neck right now. You did miss me. I knew you would. But anyhow, if we look there, like that's a pretty good start. I don't like not having that wall in though. So we're gonna draw that in now. Yeah, I was vibing? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to ruin your vibe by being on my stream. I should just not come back next time then, No, I understand that completely. This is tricky. I feel like I've done everything wrong. The music was so nice. Yeah. Yeah, I get that. I feel like I'm doing it all wrong. We don't need all these guides currently. We can delete that layer. Oh, hi Zapdos. It's good to have you here. We were working on this area back here. It's good to have you here though. So this is how the whole thing looks currently. This plan, Gardevoir. This is how it's going. That's pretty good. You had a very efficient day so far. That's a good word. Efficient. And one of my favorite words, I think. One of my many favorite words. I like words a lot. If you couldn't already tell. I talk. But yeah. I just feel like I'm ruining this photo. Not photo, this drawing. I feel like I'm ruining it. Ruining it with my perspective. Because look. This... Hang on, that's not a layer. We'll just draw on extra plans for now, I guess. So, this is how it'll kind of end up. But... Oh, we can also put that back in. You took a pic of a squirrel today? That's awesome. We love squirrels. So, her legs are like this, you see. And then that goes back to the vanishing point. Like this. So, this is the right height. Legitimately, this is the right scale for everything. If she's a bit tall. You know? Because if the floor is there, then her legs would end here. And most people... My dad loves cute animal pics. I wanted to make him happy tomorrow. That's so nice of you. That's so nice of you. That's really thoughtful. But she's too tall, I feel like. That's adorable. Yeah, I agree. So, if I... Like how me and my sister saved 2 baby starlings. I remember you told me about that. If I were to shrink Mim a little bit, just a little bit, and put her in like the same spot. I put her here. I know it makes no sense for a Gardevoir to be this much taller than me. Cause, hang on, let's... Gosh. Perspective is so difficult sometimes. When you're working with living things. Gardevoir's actual foot would be there. Except this Gardevoir is still shorter than me. Because I'm leaning down, right? First time that ever happened, I took a picture of the starling for my dad. Oh, that's cute. But look. Which means that at here, but then I'm assuming that this is like a 90-degree angle, right? So it goes, well, a 90-degree angle would mean that it goes like that. Which means that that would become like that-ish. Which would then be there. I'm working hard on chores to get some laundry done and some dishes while maintaining my blood pressure. It is neutral. Alright, awesome. But yeah, so they have a high blood pressure is what I heard. Correct me if I'm wrong, Zapdos. Yeah. So, if we're looking at my measurements here, Gardevoir at 5'3". Is that 5'3"? Hang on. Let me just. Gardevoir height. You pull up Gardevoir height. Is my. No, my stylus is just fine. Height 5'3". Yeah. So Gardevoir at 5'3". It makes sense that she'd be, or they'd be shorter than me at 5 foot. Between 5'5" and 6 feet. My real height is 5'9", but sometimes I make my avatar 5'6". It's not something consistent. My avatar is always either 5'6", it's like my avatar is between 5'6" and 5'9". It's not a set height. I'm blaming shoes for that. That's my excuse for inconsistency. But yeah, this is around, I mean, several inches, right? You know? Which means if we have, long story about that, he just needs to work on his mobility. Oh, yeah, your dad's in the hospital, I see. That's no good. I really hope everything's alright. But yeah. I think that my measurements are correct. Which means that this is their, hang on. We should put these measurements on a new layer. Alright. Character height map. So, take Gardevoir to the vanishing point. And boom. Oh, thanks for the head pats, Morgan. Hang on. I need to scroll up myself a little bit to receive the head pats. It's good that I don't move the head pats sometimes because it's a good measuring stick to tell if I've positioned myself too poorly. If I put my hands together like this, for some reason they cross like that, which is kind of strange. I can also, so to put my fingertips together, I actually need to hold my hands about 6 inches apart, it seems. Which is kind of interesting. Anyhow, thanks very much for the head pets. We're gonna get back on with my nerd things. Oh, can't have that red outline there. Always bothers me when I leave it on. So, then Gardevoir also goes to this vanishing point. Right? So let's see. Basically, Gardevoir is 5'3", and that's a known fact, right? Which makes it so that it's a good measuring stick. You know? Gardevoir is a good measuring stick. So if we extend this out to there, like that, then we know that 5'3" is that much of the door, which is wrong, right? That's not how the door... Hey, hand. We're not playing that game. That's better. So we know for a fact that this door is way too big. Right? And we know that I'm not doing anything about it. We are lying. Right? Now all of China knows you're here and that I'm lying and that you could just have a tall Gardevoir. I cannot have a tall Gardevoir. This Gardevoir is the perfect height for the for this whole picture, right? Right now this Gardevoir, I think 5'3" is the average, yeah. But this Gardevoir is the perfect height right now for where it is, and 5'3" makes sense. Hey, and me and my siblings are planning to see father in the morning so that way we can spend more time with him, and when we get home we can handle tasks early, like I'll clean laundry tomorrow. That's good. So the problem is that I'm lying on the perspective, right? I'm straight up lying. Because I'm acting like Gardevoir goes like that, you know? Because if it went like that, then that height would make sense. But it doesn't go like that. So I'm lying. I'm a liar and a cheat. That's how this picture is making me feel. Every real artist that knows what they're talking about is going to look at this and they're going to say, yo, this perspective makes no sense, and I'm going to feel bad. But I'm in too deep to quit now. The problem is that this is just so close to the vanishing point. You're going to go to sleep? Alright, have a good nap. Or rather, night. Have a good sleep night. Yeah. Camping took a lot. I mean, I absolutely understand that. I'm glad you had fun, though. I'm also a little eepy. So let's see. There is a correct way to do this, let me think. Anyhow, we'll delete that layer for now. Prep counter. We'll make that character, or rather that layer, James. And we'll just sort of start sketching out how this is going to have to go. Right? He's going to be looking somewhat downwards, right? Focus there. Except his face is there, so it'd be kind of like that. So then the plane part of his face should go sort of like that, except we probably want that longer. Something like that, because they're looking down at this counter. Alright, and then the neck would kind of be like that into the shoulders, which are kind of like this. Yeah. We'll make this 3D. He's leaning forward a lot, so it goes kind of like that. But we'll still draw that line. So this would go and be part of there. Except, do we really think? Yeah, I guess we do really think that this is there. That's bad. That's bad. Oh, 19,993 is really close. Wow. The very next bonus, I think, will get you there. What's this? Hang on. There's just a thing. I'm going to ignore it for now. We'll say... So that's the waist. And the hips. This isn't completely wrong. Doing stuff at the counter. A couple more iterations and this could be something. Probably want his hands to end up closer together though. Something like that. Except maybe out to one side. So it'd be... something like this. Their shoulders would be higher up because they're leaning. Let's see. And then like this, like this. It's not a terrible start. It's just not dynamic or 3D enough. These arms are too thin. These legs are interesting. No. Oh, I also wanted to put a blender in there. Alright, so we'll do that really quick. Might as well. And we are just guessing on this line. Because I don't actually need it to be like the most accurate ever right now. I'll make a better blender someday. You know? We've got plenty of time for this. So there's no need to make it perfect on the first try. That's a blender to me. Uh-huh. Blender. Yeah, blender. You can hide that. That height makes sense. Maybe no. I think that the counter height might not make sense. Which would really suck. What if... because... yeah, it makes sense to be able... This isn't cheating. This is correct because his feet would be like there. So move him down a little. It's not wrong. Interesting. Press Control S, didn't I? Yeah. So we can now hide this plan. Oh, Meowth and the Blender are gonna fight. Not like canonically or anything. I mean fight as in fight for attention. There's too much going on right there. Meowth instead. I mean, the problem is there's a lot of space on the counter, but very little space above the counter. Let's go up to extra plans. What we want. Okay, about here probably. I want this sink to be visible though, but I don't need it to be visible. So we might just have to give up on the sink. I want a display. Hey, hand, keep it together. Hey, hey. That's what I thought. So we want some kind of display there. I'm thinking like cupcakes. Hang on, let's actually make this box. It's just gonna be a cube for now. So if we put this box here, right, and we say this is a delivery box or a display of some kind. In fact, if we have it be a display of some kind, we can put another thing. Well, here, let's just make it simpler. So this box doesn't technically have to be precise at all, because it's not even a box that we're keeping. But if we put that box there, we'd probably want to take out the sink, because it would make no sense if we don't have the knobs. Alright, we might even put... We want the oven visible. But what we don't need is the counters and drawers, right? So we're probably going to want to put a spice rack. And I'll write that in. Probably going to want a spice rack there. I should stop touching my face. I didn't write that very well, it's not legible. There we go. Spice rack. This is a, what we said, delivery box. could be a cupcake display. Put the little heart there. But I also think hang on. So then we also would have a second here, alright? We'll have another box right here. This is below the vanishing, or below the horizon line. So it actually goes like that, kind of. Alright, and then if we go over to James and we just kind of erase this up here. Because there'll be a limit to what we even need to worry about drawing. So we'll put the cupcake display there. Then extra plans, we go draw. Then we have a delivery box there. So that way we get even more things happening, right? We get the cupcake display, and then next to it would be a delivery box, perhaps even multiple. So we'll just kind of mark out that that's an area, a section. And then we're going to remove the sink later. Hey, hand. Oh, you know what's happening here? Oh, never mind, I have no idea what's happening there. I thought maybe that like the skin on my short sleeve shirt was making it detect and think it was hand. But maybe not. Don't know. Anyway, I still want Meowth, you know? But how tall is Meowth? Hand keeps being silly. It sure does. And that's just part of the deal I made when I used XR Animator. Hey. We're good. Me and my hand are friends. Moi. Meowth height. Let's see. Hey, other hand. Come on, that wasn't an invitation. Meowth is 1'4". So really, it should be about the same size as Jirachi. So if we add another layer, we get our align tool. Say that goes to there, that goes to there. Alright. Then, yeah. Mouth would technically be like that tall. But, bro is 16 inches. Hi hype, we're just drawing. You know, this is what it looks like currently. It's not too bad. We're about to decide to put in a Meowth. Probably even... So I think what you got cooked up so far? Yeah, it's all this. Most of this is not final in any sense of the word. This is all roughest rough draft. This is mock-up, basically. This is like not even a sketch, because a sketch would imply you've thought about how it'll shape. These are just layouts, basically. Some of these things are slightly more final. This Jirachi is probably going to stay the way it is. But right now what I'm up to is I'm saying the way to maximize space, or maximize the use of our space, is to go like this, like this, like that, like that, and then, so, hang on, cat goes like, cats are like that, pretty much. Except because it's a Meowth, I'm gonna want it to go like that, I think. So the scale is kind of off. This is a really large Meowth, I think. But we'll obviously make it correct later. In fact, this kind of needs to condense here. So we'll just move that in, basically. Because Meowth's a really weird looking cat, but it's a cat nonetheless. And I've drawn a fair few cats in my time. So we'll also just bring this over here. Alright. Whoops, that's on erase mode. So yeah, we have Meowth there. Wait, hang on. Yeah, like that. That's where Meowth will be. And Meowth will be asleep. Probably just like with dollar bills sticking out from under him. People will be leaving tips to Meowth as well, I think. Yeah, yeah. Because some restaurants and stuff, Chinese restaurants, they'll have little bowls where you can... I don't know if it's where you leave tips or where there's just like... I should actually look that up right now so I'm not wrong. Okay. I've seen it in Chinese restaurants, which is interesting. Yeah. It's Japanese, though. Okay, that makes sense. Beckoning cat. Hang on. I'm wondering. Well, I guess I'm not going to find out. But I was hoping to see if... So in Chinese restaurants, there'll be often the... hang on. How did they... I just left it and now I'm already curious again. What was it called? There's already the maneki neko, right? In a lot of Japanese restaurants. And there'll be a little, like, dish of coins a lot of times. And I'm thinking to myself, wouldn't it be quite funny if our Meowth also was kind of like that? But the problem is I don't know if it's, like, tips that the people are leaving for it, or if that's just a little offering to the maneki neko to bring those things, you know? Either way, we're doing it sort of like a tip jar. People say, oh, the cat's been here a while, we'll stick some coins on it and stuff. Say, oh, look, it's a lucky Meowth. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. That is a good plan. It's also 11:30. We've been up for 2 hours. I think this is a good time to end the stream so I get plenty of sleep for tomorrow. What say you guys? We made good progress. I mean, I'm a little surprised that doing just this little bit here took 2 hours. But, you know, I agree. Yeah, cool, ice cold. Yeah, sorry that you just got here hype. But, you know, I do need sleep, especially for tomorrow. So we're going to make sure everything's saved. We're going to click save. Gonna close that. Gonna close that. Ain't no problem? Alright. Then we'll go here. Tomorrow will be fun. I hope so. We're gonna raid out today. I'm on the right category, right? I'm on art, yeah. Looking forward to finished product. Me too. It's gonna take a really long time, but doing it on stream is a good way to make sure that progress happens every week. You know, rather than just thinking about it a lot. I think it's really helpful for me. It's just having a dedicated time to work on my art, even if it's only 2 hours a week. It guarantees it'll be finished eventually. We're gonna look for someone to raid. Let's see. We have Miso there, playing Guilty Gear, looks like. Well, I think we go with someone else today. I think Luna Dabintu. Yes. Luna Dabintu. Playing League of Legends. Don't know if I can support League of Legends in any way, but really hating it is mostly just silly for me because I don't know enough about it to hate it. So we're going to raid them. And we're gonna raid into them playing League of Legends. For a second I thought it was Raid Shadow Legends because they both say raid in them. Or they both say legends in them, sorry. But yeah, thanks everyone for showing up. I've certainly had a good time. I always like doing art streams, but I always worry that they don't do as well, but they're fun. They usually get decent enough engagement. So I don't have to worry about it. So we're gonna raid out. Thanks for being here. Goodbye.